back! Today I will be doing a fan art illustration of Dany Targaryen. Okay, so I started out this illustration by pencil sketching out what was in my head, and I wanted this one to be more about the colouring than the line art. You also saw me doing a bunch of swatches earlier in this video, and that was me just trying to get the colours again that were in my head on paper. It's good to do this with any illustration you're going into anyway, but because it was a paper I haven't used for a long time, I did want to just re-familiarise myself with the pens on this particular media. The pens didn't actually bleed through the paper, which is pretty awesome. If you guys are wondering, it is the multimedia paper, just you can find it from Hobbycraft. I included that paper in my Copic video last week, so if you want to find out which one that is, I would say go there and have a look. It is one of my favourite ones to go to, so yeah, definitely would recommend that one. It's pretty awesome. So, little life update. I stopped being a big scaredy cat and asked Leamington Comic Con whether I could have a table a few months ago for their next Comic Con event. They said yes. It didn't quite feel real, but I was excited. And then I had my artist announcement last week, and suddenly it's real, and I'm gonna have a table at Leamington Comic Con, and I'm just way excited and feel totally inspired to draw absolutely anything and everything. So that is kind of why Dany is here. I was gonna do like a desk tour this week, but I was just so excited and had this image in my head of what I wanted to draw. I just had to get it out. And as you can tell, I'm both excited and really nervous. So that is my life update. There you go. So later in this video, there are a few different medias. There are Copics involved, liners, pencils and watercolours. I use the watercolours in a way I don't think I've ever used them in this way before, but it's quite popular at the moment. It's kind of a very watery, almost galaxy effect, but I did it with fire colours because this is Dany Targaryen we're talking about. She is mother of dragons. She brings these dragons into the world by basically climbing onto a fire. Well, yeah, do not try this at home, kids. It's not safe, no. But yeah, very proud of that. Unfortunately, my memory card ran out of space mid-film because this took a lot longer than I was anticipating. Tori didn't look up at the camera. Basically, I made a boo-boo. Sorry guys. So there is a chunk of the footage I am missing, however, you get a good idea later on. And my plans, basically to take this further, is to scan it in, clean up any blemishes if I feel like I need to, equal out any colours if I feel anything is blown out. And I'm quite fancying the idea of putting the banner of the House Targaryen across the bottom with the house emblem in the bottom left corner. I just feel like it would really just finish this image off. I know that I probably should have done this by hand, but I didn't really think about it until it was done. By then it was too late, so I'll just do it digitally, or I don't know, I'll do it by hand, scan it in and just layer it. There are plenty of options. Loads of options, so there you go. Yeah, so if you fancy like popping in to see me at my table, I will be at Leamington Comic Con. You can find them on Facebook, and actually I will leave a link to their Facebook page in the description below if you're interested in checking them out. They are awesome. I've seen them since they first started their show, and I've seen them grow from this tiny little family-sized thing. It's still family orientated, but it's grown and it's got this lovely personalised feeling, which is why I wanted my very first one to be with these guys. I didn't want to launch myself straight at London. I'm not ready for that. I'm just not. No. I'll do the smaller cons first, and then I'll work my way up to the bigger cons. Eep. So that's my life update. If you have any suggestions for any more fan arts that could make it to things like that, or just for fun, just for fun, then do feel free to leave a suggestion below. That would be awesome. And just a little heads up, there will be more fan arts to follow. I've just got bunches of stuff fizzling around in my brain, so there will be plenty more where this came from. I have an idea for a Lilo and Stitch fan art, and yeah, there are a few others, so I will keep you tuned on that one. And yeah, really this was a lovely painting and coat big illustration to get me back into doing bigger pieces. I still hadn't got myself out of doing the Inktober stuff, and I mean, I know it was ages ago now, but I got used to working on A6 and like maximum A4 size paper, so going back up to A3 was kind of like a shock to the system, and it went from taking 2 to 4 hours on a piece of art to 6 to 8, and all of a sudden there's a massive amount of editing as well. So yeah, that's been fun. I mean, I'm still developing my editing style, so yeah. Now this is what I was meaning when I was talking about the background, where it's a very water heavy type thing. In the bottom, as you can see just in the bottom there, that was the first section. I actually went back and went over the top of that because I wasn't happy with it. I felt like that was kind of like my test corner. But yeah, it looks fine now. I did correct it. What I did learn from the bottom, unfortunately, is that the paper, though it's multimedia and it's heavier, it does still tend to curve because I didn't tape it down to a board or anything. I was just being silly basically. So yeah, you just got to be a bit careful of it rubbing over the top. I did go back around the illustration with my pencils later. I did use a little mix of my watercolour ones and my erasable ones. Just because one set didn't have colours that the other one did. It wasn't because I was just being picky, it's just because I was trying to choose the right colours really. And yeah, that was what I was saying about the bottom, but overall I am pretty happy Tory. Yeah, ta-da! So thanks very much for watching guys. Like if you liked and sub if you haven't. Just keep doodling. Bye!